All right, my friends, welcome to episode 255 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. Over there is Anthony, the dev at SummerSpeak on Twitter. How's it going, man?
It's going okay. Just riding out the heat wave.
Yeah, wow, hot.
Yeah.
97 near me yesterday. Today I didn't see what it was, but...
Yeah. Seattle hit 98 today.
Wow.
So, fun times for a place that has zero air conditioning in anywhere.
Right, a place that you don't expect it to be hot. You don't,
No.
buy that or pay for that or put that in.
No, but like tomorrow's supposed to be like mid-80s, and then it's that for the rest of the week, which is fine. That's summer up here, and that's okay.
Yeah. I go out one day a weekend, go out into a park and just play my Switch and read a book or whatever. And my wife is super worried about how hot it was going to be, but I found a park with tons of shade and just like on top of a hill where it was constantly breezy, and it felt amazing. So anywhere else would have killed me, but that was great.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it was good. I had a good time. I'm looking forward to explaining what I played today. Before we do, we're going to talk about the big news of the week, which was basically Epic throwing up middle fingers toward Google and Apple and getting Fortnite kicked off of both their ecosystems, basically. And then we'll talk about what we're playing. So why don't we start with that big news, which was basically Epic getting ready to piss off Google and Apple by adding, I think it was like an in-game
So I had never seen it, what it was, but I found a thing that showed the pictures of it. So it's basically whenever you go to buy the in-game currency in Fortnite, whatever the hell that, V-Bucks.
V-Bucks.
Yep. It says, how do you want to pay? And you have two options. Apple App Store, $9.99. Epic Direct Payment, $7.99.
Right. So,
that's not allowed under Apple's terms of service for developers. I know this, I remember this, and Apple very much quickly went yank out, because they did this without requiring a binary update. So Apple didn't review this. Yeah,
I see.
They just did this. They just changed their store through data that can be streamed in. This didn't have to go through Apple.
Who would have seen it and said, nah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, right.
So they did this. And, they were prepared. They knew exactly what was going to happen. I'm sure Apple and Epic had been discussing this behind the scenes for a while before this happened. This happened, Apple pulled it off the store, and then a couple hours later, Epic filed a antitrust lawsuit that they had already had written up, ready to go, against Apple.
They also had
and then a few hours...
Was it 1980 Fortnite?
Yeah, 1980 Fortnite. Basically mocking Apple's 1984 commercial against IBM.
Right.
Which in a side context is really funny when you think about it. So when Apple made that 1984 commercial, they already had a bigger market cap than IBM.
Oh, that's interesting.
They were already a bigger and wealthier company than IBM. But they positioned themselves as the edgy underdog company.
Right.
Yeah. So, fun times there when knowing that context to that ad. You're like, oh, okay. It's not the most genuine ad out there.
Right. Well, and that this Fortnite thing wasn't either, because it was very much, Fortnite signed a contract, or Epic signed a contract, and they're basically like, we're going to make it look like the App Store is so greedy they're not going to let you save money on V-Bucks, and we're going to weaponize our customers against Apple and Google. Well, at the same time, I'm happy that someone's trying it, because I think that 30% of all of your profits going to Apple is a lot, but that's kind of the industry standard, right? That's
been the industry standard
Steam as well.
That was what Steam. That's the industry standard, at least for the last 13 years. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's been, 13 years, because this was when the App Store came out. I remember doing stuff with it 2007-ish and stuff. 30% was what they took. Steam followed that model. Everyone did that. Although I've seen some history, I don't know where it came from. That 30% is not even from, it comes even before app stores and digital stuff. That number is not arbitrary. It had some historical stance outside of apps and gaming and digital storefronts. So.
It just strikes me as a big cut if you're not doing a lot of work for that 30%.
So back in the day, it was a lot of work. Because it would have cost way more than 30% of your profits to power your own service to let people download everything.
Yeah.
cloud storage, the whole thing. Like,
right.
I mean, PopCap, we did digital downloads. That's what we did, and it wasn't cheap to manage your own servers and your own download platform and all that. The thing is, it's become cheaper since then.
But that
way cheaper. Budged. But that price has not budged.
Well, and we saw with Epic where they lowered their price partially because they felt like they could, but also maybe to reflect the reality of how much it actually costs.
Exactly, and that's their whole point. They're like, it doesn't cost 30% anymore. They're like, it costs us like 12%. If we're just trying to cover that. You could also say that Apple is like the 30%, and Steam with the 30% thing is they're saying, hey, we offer the service that we host your thing for people and be a storefront. People can buy. We do all the transaction, all of that. But we also are a place that promotes your game, gives you all these additional features, friends lists, multiplayer, a bunch of extra features, like them or not.
And I feel like that's true. I mean, that is certainly true. The one thing I kept thinking about this weekend was about the discoverability, like the promoting your game. And I feel like a lot of, maybe I'm wrong, you can speak more to this than I can, but I feel like a lot of games on the App Store don't really get that, because there's just so many.
There's so many.
But they still take 30% off of them.
Yep. That's your price for doing business on the App Store.
Right, because it's nowhere else to go besides, I guess, the Play Store, which does the same. So.
Yep. But the thing is with Google, you don't have to go through the Play Store.
Right, you can do your own app and get sideloaded or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing on Android. There's ways to. Plenty of other stores. Samsung has their own Android store. The thing is with Apple, the only way to get apps through Apple, legitimately, unless you like unlock your phone somehow. Not even unlock. It's
you're jailbreaking it,
so you can do sideload apps onto it. Is to go through the App Store. I mean, that's what you buy into when you get an Apple device.
Right.
And I think that's where everyone has always been like, is this a monopoly? Does this actually fit antitrust, anti-competitive practice? Because there's always been this question of right now, Apple's not a majority of the smartphone market. They're like 40 in the US. I brought this up. As of August this month, iOS is 47.4%. Android is 51.8. 0.5 for Microsoft.
Are they still hanging on with the phone? Didn't they discontinue that phone?
They did. So there's a few people, and then some Blackberries are still sitting around somewhere.
Holy shit, Blackberries, yeah. Obama's still out there with his
0.2%. So, but the thing is, the Android phones are, and this is only the US. If you go like global, like Android is far, far more pervasive.
Oh god, it's way cheaper. It's way cheaper.
Yeah. So you see it everywhere, and like worldwide, I think I was looking. iPhones are like 15% of the market, 20%. But even in the US, I think people have always worried if they like push this antitrust that it might fail, and if it fails, like you've just set precedent that this is completely okay.
Right.
And that's always been, and you've thrown a bunch of money at fighting this legal battle, probably for at least 2 or 3 years. So yeah, it's always been questionable, and I guess we'll find out if it gets answered, or if behind the scenes they're just going to settle out of court and Epic will get a smaller, they'll be like, fine, we'll take 15%.
Wouldn't that open a door for other devs to say the same thing?
Or other devs already have. They've already given deals to other people.
Yeah, but the deals that they have for other people are things like Spotify and Netflix, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel like they grandfathered those streaming apps in for some reason, which I don't know why they couldn't also grandfather in xCloud if it's the same thing, streaming to the phone. But I guess you're directly competing with their Apple Arcade or their games market. I don't know. But
yeah, there's they have better deals with some of those other streaming companies.
Right. Well, I feel like that would be hard for iPhone to say you can't do Netflix, you can't do Spotify on our phone. Like, well, fuck you, I'm going to go to the Android then. It kind of like at a certain point you're so big, Apple has to cave in some way. And I wonder, I don't think Fortnite itself is big enough. I was looking iOS.
Yeah, I was trying to get a good sense about like revenues, and it's not like it was like none for Apple. It's a chunk of money, but I think it came in like the lower top 10 of top grossing iOS games, and it's not in the top 10 for top grossing apps. When you talk about games that make a lot more than it, Candy Crush, Clash Royale, things like that.
Right.
Clash of Clans, all those like games make a shit ton more money than Fortnite. for iOS. And I think if those companies challenge them, they might bat an eye and be like, maybe we should consider something. But those companies don't.
The only thing for me with that, and I totally get that completely in terms of the dollars, Fortnite is not in that same category. But in terms of who's playing the game, it's like kids who now have had their basically preferred social network shut off on their device if that's the only way they can play. And then, making noise with their parents who would then make noise, as opposed to, and maybe this is unfair, but like the people who are playing Candy Crush might not band together and get super agitated in the same way. And I don't know if the cultural phenomena of Fortnite might be worth as much as the dollar amount.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think the most interesting thing to me, and you can help explain this, is the lawsuit against Google, which at least part of it was about Google going to the manufacturers of different Android devices where Epic was trying to get right on, like basically in the OS, and them basically saying you can't put Epic on there.
Yeah, no, that one piece feels like it might be an issue. Although I don't know what precedents exist, because people have been putting OEM software on computers and laptops. I mean, sure, yours new laptop came with some pre-installed stuff on it. For a long time, and I don't know who gets to say what goes on it or not. And I don't know the legal background, if that's something that's been tried in court before or not.
The only thing that I read that was related to this was IBM versus Intel versus AMD, where Intel was going to various I don't know exactly the term, but basically going to different OEMs, I guess,
manufacturers, basically people making
the software to go on, but basically saying like you can't put these things onto a computer that has AMD. You can only put them on the computers that have Intel. So AMD sued Intel and won because of antitrust. So what I was reading about this particular piece of the Google suit said this Intel versus AMD lawsuit is precedent for this, and it means that Epic might actually win this piece. The rest of it, who
I can see that. Yeah, and that part totally. Then I could see them getting some antitrust legislation or a favorable court ruling for that. Like you said, no one else knows about this other part about.
Yeah.
Does having Google is even harder. I think the lawsuit against Google is going to be really hard because you can go get Fortnite from Epic itself on Android. You don't have to go get it from the Google Play Store. That's fine. Like, there's nothing stopping you from just getting apps from different storefronts. The iOS side is where that's a harder thing, and it's going to come down to being, hey, is controlling the marketplace on your OS antitrust when a person could just choose not to buy that type of phone?
Right, they can buy an Android instead.
Yeah, or Microsoft even. So it's just one of those things, and I don't know how that's going to be ruled on. I don't think there is a general idea on how that would be ruled on.
The courts are a little weird now. Some courts have been stacked with Trump appointees that aren't exactly stellar legal minds. So it's a crapshoot. I don't know. It just seems like such a swinging a $2 billion dick, trying to throw lawsuits out.
And that's the thing about it. And a lot of these people that are judges and determining this, there's not a lot of really good precedent for this. Like, this is new problems being solved while trying to look at, how does this map to something else that came before? Does it?
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't. And they just have to be like, we'll do our best, I guess.
Well, and then you've got judges, if fucking any of these tech meetings on Capitol Hill are any indication, you would have judges who are asking questions like, well, so what's an app?
Exactly.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, you can't. It depends on where you're at. I don't expect judges hearing all these cases to be completely versed in the technical speak and the technology that's behind this stuff. That's not what they went to school for to learn.
Right.
I'm sure some are better versed than others, but who knows? I don't even know. I didn't check where the lawsuits were filed.
I didn't either. Well, Epic's in South Carolina, right? Or North Carolina.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's where they're going to file it. They're a corp out of, so they're in, I don't know if it's South or North.
I think it's North.
I think so too. But I saw on the lawsuit that they're incorporated in Maryland, though.
Oh, okay. Tax law, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I mean, that's why everyone's in Delaware. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. Right now, it is very rich companies going to blows. And honestly, in the end, right at the moment, consumers don't really get a whole hell of a lot out of this.
No. And I mean, I guess potentially V-Bucks being 20% cheaper is what, like the carrot, I guess, to like get the fans to kind of get all riled up.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to be interesting.
I initially thought it would cause a change, but I've since read more and reflected more and thought maybe not.
Like, how much do these people truly care about Fortnite?
Right.
Will they just move on to something? Like, they have a phone. That's the phone they use. I guess I don't get to play Fortnite anymore. I'm not buying another phone. My parents aren't buying another phone.
Yeah. Right.
So I'll find, like kids tend to do, the next thing that I can play with my friends.
I feel like it's for that age group, it's less about the actual game and more about the social space to play and talk.
Yep.
And you can find that somewhere else.
Yeah. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if this is just going to be a little blip. Kind of feel like it's a little blip in some ways, because it already feels like news-wise it's trailing off.
I think so too. Yeah. And
it's like, yep, it happened. In our circles, of course, I mean, I didn't know anyone who played Fortnite on mobile. So
no.
Like, it doesn't. I'm like, I guess I won't hear about this because I don't know anyone or anyone's kids who plays Fortnite on mobile devices. Right. So
yeah, I just wonder how big of the market for Fortnite iOS actually is. It can't be, like you said, it's making money, of course, but it can't be like this. That's not the superior place to play fucking Fortnite.
No.
So
go ahead.
If you can, or your parents can afford an iPhone or an iPad for you, you probably have a fucking computer somewhere, or a PS4, or a Switch, or whatever that can play Fortnite better. So.
And guess what? You're stuck at home mostly right now, so that PS4 is probably a better place to play it.
Yeah, for sure. You don't need to play it on the go.
Yeah, my son's friend plays Fortnite on his PS4. Like, that's the only place he plays it. Like, none of them have phones at this age, really.
Right.
Or phones that could do any kind of apps like that. My friend who's a teacher in middle school said he had, like, it was pretty popular about a year ago with his middle schoolers. But
Fortnite specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was a pretty common thing to take away their phone in class for playing Fortnite.
Yeah. Which
makes sense. I'm like, yep. But even that's not an issue in COVID times because they're not at school.
Yeah, there's not much a teacher can do to some kid who's sitting there playing Fortnite on the camera. Like, hey, like, you're not here, whatever.
Or they're playing it on that computer or whatever.
Right.
It's just one of those things. I'm just like, okay, this is happening, and in a few years we'll see some outcome of this.
Yep.
But
which doesn't, like you say, doesn't really. I think the reason why it's trailing off a little bit is because it was kind of interesting, but now for all of us who are looking at it and saying it's not really affecting me in any way. So
yeah,
whatever. But it definitely blew up. It was some interesting news. I think we're all just news starved in terms of video game news because, boy, the standoff with Xbox and Sony is continuing on, and Nintendo has had very little news except for Pikmin 3, I guess. But I did want to bring up one thing before we get to what we're playing, and we talked about it off mic. I was listening to the Xcast from Kind of Funny, and Alana Pierce mentioned she got a DM from it might have been GameStop or something, but basically they have a SKU in there for the Xbox One X that lists it at $599. And her take was that it seemed legit based on what she's heard and what she would think, and having worked at those kind of places before. So my question to you, does $599 sound like the right price for an Xbox One X / PS5?
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, it was either $499 or $599 in my head, and I was hoping $499. But if it's $599, well, cool. Last time a console launched at $600, it didn't do that well.
That's why I think Sony would stay away from that number just for history's sake, even if they would do like, $589.
Yeah.
Just to stay away from the PS3.
I mean, PS3 eventually did well, but it did well when it dropped in price to $300 for a PS3.
Right.
When they came out with the Slim, and it was way cheaper. So yeah, I mean, looking at the hardware that's in both systems, yes, this is a realistic price it could be, and that means that I won't be getting one anytime soon.
Right. That definitely puts me out of the launch.
I can't put it and go like, I don't want to spend $600 on it. I like games, I really do, but I can wait at this point. I guess I can play anything on an Xbox One X on my computer, which is fine. Yep. Right. PS5 is going to be harder, but really, from what they've shown, I am more than willing to hold off for a while until I get like Forbidden West.
Right.
Whenever that is, maybe there's a price drop around that time. But $600 is a lot.
That's a huge barrier to entry for me. I definitely wouldn't jump in simply because it's a gaming computer. Obviously, lots of stuff to play there, but my PS4 has such a backlog.
Yeah.
I have plenty to play there, and I'm super enjoying what I have there. There's nothing that would make me want to leap right now. Even Miles Morales, like, it looks fine, but I know I'll like it when I play it, but it's not like a system seller for me. So to wait, when I bought the PS4 back in 2014, wasn't launch, but it was close. And then wait like 2 years later, like there were just tons of really nice bundles and good deals. And it's like I don't want to jump early when there's nothing to play and then miss out on that kind of stuff later. So
yeah,
unless there's a really good deal at the jump, like a $400 machine, sure, I'll probably jump in for that. But otherwise, I'm with you. I'm waiting.
Yeah, and there was some rumors because there's the PS5 with a disk drive and not.
Mm-hmm.
That the non-disk drive one would be cheaper. But I don't want the non-disk drive one.
Exactly.
Because it actually used my PS4. I do have a bunch of back compat games on disk. Great. But I use my PS4, and I won't be keeping both consoles hooked up, as my main Blu-ray drive.
Mm.
Like, I play my movies through there, and I have a good Blu-ray collection.
Right.
And so, I need the drive. I guess I could just leave the PS4 hooked up next to it.
But you don't really want to. You want to own one,
I kind of do. I don't typically want to just have another thing. Like, I'm going to probably move the PS4 to a different room just to have it as, like, a streaming box for somebody. But my main console, like, entertainment center, I just want the one console there. Like,
yeah, for me, it's a lot about the, I don't know, 60 or so discs I have for PS4 games that I want to continue to play on the PS5. I think I will be keeping my Pro. I'll move that upstairs and keep my 5 downstairs, but there's no hurry right now for me. And I'm just like evaluating, like getting swept up in the hype, which is one thing. And then actually, is there anything I want on it yet? And the answer is no. Obviously I would like a quieter system, but I can also just hook up my laptop to my TV now and play games with my Xbox controller as Bluetooth on that. And just use it as a console too. So
yeah.
So I just wanted to bring it up and see what you thought.
I mean, and there's also the thing where that just comes in and like Microsoft goes for this $5.99 and Sony is like, no, $4.99. It just fucks them.
I mean, again. If they did that, that Microsoft cannot fall for that again. But over the past couple of weeks, I've realized they might. They're not very good at this.
There's probably a lot of people behind the scenes who get to make the final call on what the price is. So that's not just the people putting the game, the Xbox division. Like, this bubbles up to shareholders and bigger things. So
for sure.
They have to be like really monitor like their profit loss per console.
Well, and Microsoft has a lot more money as a company than Sony does, I believe. So I think they could take a hit.
Yeah.
And I think I cannot imagine Microsoft coming out first after what happened last generation, or this generation, I mean.
Yeah.
So they'll just wait and just keep waiting.
Yeah.
Until Sony says something, and Sony, oh my God, this is crazy.
I don't know. At some point, they have to say something.
I think this next week we're gonna get news this week of an announcement, announcement of an announcement kind of thing.
Wow, I hadn't actually looked at the market caps. So Sony's market cap as of Friday was 105 billion. We'll say Microsoft's market cap as of Friday 1.58 trillion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they can take a hit on some consoles.
Yeah, they have 15 times the market cap.
If Sony comes out and says $5.99, Microsoft can easily say $4.99 for the X and then $3.99 for the other one, and just like really kneecap them on price. Then that will speak to people who don't care about the exclusives, right? They're paying. They want a box to play the Ubisoft games and whatever else.
Yeah.
So give me the cheapest one. I can see that.
Yeah. Ugh. But yeah, you're right. We're mid-August. They have to say something, right? Soon.
I think if
Soon?
we don't hear anything this week, I will be shocked. I don't necessarily think price this week, but announcement of here's our next thing. Yeah. How about what we're playing? Let's get into some happy stuff. Why don't you start? What have you been playing this week?
So I've played some more Ghost of Tsushima. I'm still on Act 2, just cruising through there. I've cleared out 15 of the 17.
Oh, nice. Mongol
territories, and the other 2 are actual like story missions.
Right.
But I'm not doing the main. I did the main story mission for your armor because I wanted the benefits of that armor.
Right.
But I haven't done the other 2 story missions.
Oh my god, you haven't done the Ghost of Yadikata yet?
I'm doing all the side missions.
Christ.
I've done all
Nice.
of Kinji's missions. I'm
done
with Kinji. Poor Kinji. Such a buffoon. I
just
just love like Jan at the end of you finish and he's like, dude, just do better.
Yeah.
God damn, it's just like this like, you're really smart and you're clever. Just stop fucking up, basically.
Yes. I love the side characters, man. Kenji's great. Yuna's my lady, though. Oh, man.
I haven't done Yuna's... I'm basically going from south to north and just hitting things in... I don't care where east or west they are. I'm just like, north to south, hit all the missions, progressing north up
like
the
all
map.
the tails, right?
Yep. And so I've just been working through those. I did some more Sensei Ishikawa missions. I've done some of the Norio, the monk.
The monk.
Yeah, did some of his stuff. Yeah, I've just done miscellaneous things. I've done some of the mythic tale stuff.
Right.
Like have you found the people dueling rings in Act 2?
Like come across running?
Yeah, just come across the duels.
I found one last night, the first one.
Yeah, there's a whole quest to those.
Oh, cool.
That you find later, and it's like, oh, you need to go find all these people, and I'm like, it actually has a line in game going like, oh, I fought a bunch of those already.
Excellent, good. I'm glad when they mentioned the things that you already done.
Yeah, it was nice. I was like, but that's a part of a mythic quest.
Yeah.
Where you have to defeat all those.
Go ahead.
You have to defeat all those, and I think there's like one final boss one you have to fight.
I'm enjoying those duels so much that I've been reading people who are saying, if you really like those duels, you should play Sekiro. It's like, I don't know if I can handle Sekiro, but I really do like those duels a lot.
Yeah. Can you handle a FromSoft game?
No, I've already tried. No.
Yeah. But yeah, I bet they are. Because I'm just playing them on. I enjoy them a lot too, but I don't know. They seem like a nice change of pace. They also don't seem nearly as punishing as From game.
I keep comparing them to the Valkyrie fights in God of War, which were like towards the end sort of insurmountable, whereas these are like, okay, I get the pattern. All right, like if I just am patient, I can usually, after 2 or 3 tries. So
yeah, and I'm sure some of them get harder going forward.
Right.
I also just have one thing I wish the game did have, mentioning it, is a way to save loadouts.
Oh, I know.
Because I actually do. I do have a dual loadout that I use. Like I'm like, okay, I'm in a duel. Switch out. I want the Samurai Clan armor. I want all these different. I don't need my Inari charm.
You don't need your resource charm.
Yeah, the resource charm. I switch all my charms. Like this whole thing. I'm like, I'm in a duel. I have this set, and I'm like, I really wish I could save this. And I have a set when I'm like just doing lots of traveling. I use the Traveler's attire with other different things, and the Ronin attire for sneaky. Like there's all this stuff, and I'm like, man, I just want to save. Like I want to have like 3 slots where I can just save.
And it's
what I have.
It's a little frustrating for me to keep switching it out that I usually just don't anymore, which means I'm not using the optimal gear, which is kind of dumb. I wish.
Sometimes I don't care. Sometimes I do. Like duels, I care about. A lot of times I'm not doing the Traveler's thing anymore. I'm just running around in the Sakai clan armor.
Yep, me too.
Because I'm like, I'm going to get in standoffs, and I want to mow down 5 people. So that feels so good every time.
Dude, that is amazing. When Brad said, he might have said it to both of us, but like, get that first. And I just like plow toward it, and just that perk to get 5 in a row is just amazing. Yeah.
Whenever you finish off an entire patrol in one standoff. Oh, yeah. It's a really good game. I love it.
Do you have Ghost Stance yet?
I do not.
Oh, yeah. I think you get it from the Ghost of Yadikawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
there's some cool stuff coming.
Okay.
I think we took different paths in Act 2, where I kind of went towards, first of all, going towards any Mongol place that I could find.
Yep.
And then I did one Mythic Tale. I didn't do Gusaku's armor yet. Did you do that one?
I did. I've done Gusaku's armor.
Okay. I got most of the keys, but not all of them. I got them all from Act 1, I guess I should say. But then I just started doing the main quests. I have like 2 main quests left. I had to go find Goro down in the south.
Yep.
And then do the castle up in the north.
Yeah, you're farther than me. And main quest wise.
Quest wise, yeah. So I'm enjoying the shit out of this game. I just don't want it to end. So I'm really enjoying just luxuriating in exploring and then hitting those main quests as I come upon them, but not pushing to the last one. I'm not going to push to the last one until I clear the map this time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm basically doing the same thing. I'm just going to work my way through it. But yeah, I am very impressed with this game.
Yeah.
It's a great send-off to the PS4 in a lot of ways.
I just can't believe it's Sucker Punch. Like, I really, really, really did not like Second Son. I really like this one.
I feel like they just have learned a lot in that time. Like, they internalized a lot of lessons about things that people didn't like about their open-world games and really thought through how to make it better. And they did. I mean, it's still a Sucker Punch open-world game.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely tried and true things there. Like, you're like, yep, every foxed-in tree looks exactly the same. But I get why they do it, because you want a player to see that at a distance and know what it is. It's pattern recognition. But yes, it does seem a little weird, strange sometimes. You're like, yep, a hot spring always looks the same.
Yeah.
That's part of what's there, and I don't feel it detracts though from the overall experience. Like they kept certain pieces and then just improved everything else and nailed the combat. Like,
the combat's
holy
so
shit.
amazing. It's engaging. Always engaging.
Yeah.
I look forward to Outposts, and like, a game like Spider-Man that I finished, I still have like a ton of like Fisk outpost or hideouts or whatever, and a bunch of different hideouts of different groups or whatever to clear out, because the combat is good, but it just doesn't. I'm not excited to go do it. Whereas this one, I'm stoked to go in and just rip shit up with my blade.
Yeah, because once you can rip shit up.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Fun. It is so good.
What else are they?
It's maybe one of my favorite. Eventually we'll do this, like ranking our favorite PS4 exclusives, but this is in the top 5 for sure. For me.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I like it way, way, way better than Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
Way better. Like, not even in the same league. And I know that I'm probably a minority opinion on that.
I don't know. I mean, these two would be pretty close for me, honestly.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed Horizon quite a bit. And I really got into that combat. I mean, I had to if I wanted to platinum that damn thing.
Right.
I got very good at taking down big-ass robot dinosaurs. And had a ton of fun doing it. So, I don't know. I'd have to think on that one for a while.
But that'll be a future podcast for sure. Yeah. Not 255. Probably like 305 or something.
But other than that, I'm trying to think. So it was just me and my son home this weekend. My wife and daughter went for their mama girl camping trip of this year. So I played some Fall Guys. So have you ever... Oh, my son loves it, and then I played some. My son is just like, this game rules, and just laughs. He doesn't care about losing or anything. He's just like, totally. What's this chaos? And I was playing... Have you ever experienced, like, incredible input lag? Like, I press the jump button, and it's a second and a half later before I jump.
No, I haven't.
And I was trying to... Okay, I just trying to dig up what's going on, because when I was playing, it was fine for a while, and then I just started getting these huge input lag spikes, where I'd fail because I just couldn't time my jumps. I'm like...
Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, I was playing with my wife, and there was this the one thing where you like run up the hill to like jump across, and there's 3 spinning discs.
Yeah.
And I always make that jump, and I couldn't make it. And I was like, it's not... I thought I was too far away from the console because I would jump, and it wouldn't jump, and then jump a second later. I was like, what the hell? So I got closer, and it didn't fix it. Yeah, it happened one time.
I think it's servers. Yeah. I was trying to dig online. I think it's bad servers sometimes, and latency. Latency, the round-trip latency is just too high, and there's lag on the server. So that made it... I was like, okay, I can't play this right now. And moved on. And I don't know if I'm a bad parent or good parent, but we played 4 hours of Diablo 3.
I saw that yesterday. Was it yesterday or today?
It was like, my son was playing Minecraft Dungeons. He has been. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, Minecraft Dungeons is like this game Diablo that I play. And he's like, can I play it? And I'm like, well, is it any worse than anything? Like, it's pretty fantastical violence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's undead. Like, there's not, like, it's kind of some dark themes in there. But, what the hell? Why not? Like, you're 10. Let's see how you handle this, if it bothers you at all. It doesn't bother him at all. He's like, whatever. He doesn't even care about the story or anything. He's like, look at all the story. He's like, look at all these skills. Look at all the skill that he's like so into. Like, he's playing Crusader. He's like, we got to like level 23 or 24. We got through Act 1 completely story wise, and because I'm just playing through the story with him.
Like co-op, right?
Co-op, yep. I'm playing a monk. He has a Crusader, and it's just like at level 23, you have every face button on the controller is an ability and triggers are abilities, and he's just like looking through all the abilities and like, oh, I can do this and that, and I'm like, he's like, look at my shield throw, and I'm like, oh my god. It was a lot of fun, and he really enjoyed it, and he's like, when can we play again? And he's like asking me a question. He's like, does it end? What's the highest level you can get? I'm like, okay, let's explain. Highest level is 70. And that's when you'll have all your abilities, like, unlocked. You can do anything you want. But then you have Paragon levels. And he's like, what are those? I'm like, they go for infinity. He's like, what?
They never stop.
I'm like, nope. And he's like, that's insane. And I'm like, and then you have all different gear you can get and sets. And he's like, what are sets? And I'm like, oh, there's special gear. If you get all the pieces, they have special abilities. Like, I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
Yes, as Pandora's box has been opened.
Kind of. It was a lot of fun, though.
I saw you on, it must have been whenever it was. I was like, middle of the day.
Middle of the day Saturday.
I wonder if Anthony's playing with his kid, or is this kid playing when Anthony's not around?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was fun. And yeah, it's a little dark, but he really doesn't seem to focus on that at all or care about. He's like, whatever. I get to do he's like, I get to do my abilities.
You never know what the kid's going to focus on.
Yeah, and he's not focusing on that stuff. I mean, after I saw him play Minecraft Dungeons and see what he focuses on there, and I'm like, you totally focus on just like the things that are true to Diablo games, the gear, the skills, the leveling. Everything else, whatever. It could be anything you want it to be. It could be chopping down flowers in a field. Doesn't matter. Like, as long as his numbers go up and he gets more things to do and cool things, that's all that matters.
I want to see the ARPG where it's cutting down flowers and trees. Please make that. Okay,
done. I'm sure I can just get some templates from the Unreal Marketplace and just slap that together. $1 million. So I did some of that, and then last night I was browsing Twitch after going to bed, and I was like, why the hell is Diablo 2 so high in Twitch? Like, what the hell? Like, it's not huge, but there was like 20,000 people watching Diablo 2. You're like, that's weird. Click in there. Click on one of the streams, and they're playing a thing called Path of Diablo. I'm like, what the hell is this? What? And then I sent you the website today. I went to that website and was like, oh, fans got together and decided they were going to make their own Battle.net and their own Diablo 2. Not, it's Diablo 2 modded, but they're like, we're going to change skill trees. We're going to do quality of life fixes. We're going to change your inventory completely.
But the assets are the same, right?
Same asset. It's the same game. It's the same game. It's just like, we're going to rebalance the game. But more than just rebalancing what's there, we're going to remove and add skills, and skill trees completely changed. Like, I'm playing an assassin, and I was like, what the hell's this martial arts tree? This is not... Oh, you have, like, new skills here, and you removed, like, 3 skills.
So if there are new skills, they have to add new animations and...
Or do something. I mean, animation, I'm sure they just recycle on animation. That's already in there. And say, hey, use this one. I don't know how they're doing it, but... Yeah. It's quite a change, but it's really cool. Like, your inventory is twice as big now. But the bottom half, the news chunk, has a different background, and that's your can be your charm inventory. Charms only work while they're on this bottom half of your inventory.
So you're going to have that many charms active?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
But still have your inventory.
Yeah.
Space.
Wow.
Like I said, the whole game has been effectively rebalanced around this. It's impressive. there's loot filters now, so you can people have made loot filters that can be loaded into this thing, so you can have items show up when you hold Alt, very clearly marked as colorized to what they are. So right. You're like, oh, a set item's name on the ground is always green. Rares are always yellow named, so that they're not just white text everywhere. Right. Just little tiny things, like renaming some of the things, so it's not health, it's not long health potion. It's just I think the purple potions, they just show, hey, the name is just in purple, the percentage that would restore, so you can see if it's a bigger, what size of purple potion it was, just from looking at the name on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm just it's impressive. And then they built their own BattleNet to run it. So
that's crazy.
So it's running off a Path of Diablo BattleNet. You download this installer and you mod your Diablo 2 folder so it connects to Path of Diablo's server.
You're just not going to BattleNet all anymore.
You're not going to BattleNet. You're going to their private server. And then there are 47 game servers around the States. I've been playing out of Portland. And it's kind of a weird thing where whenever you create in BattleNet, you would create a game and you just create a game. And this one, you put your name of the game in, you put your password in that you want, and then you put in a number of what server you want that game started on. And yeah, as of right now, there are 59 servers around the world where it looks like most of them can host between 75 to 85 games.
Wow.
On them. So yeah, you just put in the server you want. Your character is stored on the Path of Diablo BattleNet private server, but your games are spawned. You choose what server you want to spawn your games on.
Dang, I'm gonna have to look that up or check it out.
I'm playing it again. And I'm just I made it to Act 3.
Oh damn, dude!
And I'm just fuck, Diablo 2 is so good, and this mod makes it so much even better. The skill changes are really neat. It changes how you approach the game strategy-wise. The quality of life is really nice. Yeah, I'm just holy shit. Blizzard's not going to do it. Someone else is going to do it. And that's what impresses me most about it. It's just all right, well, Blizzard's not going to do any more content updates to this game or keep it fresh, so we'll just do it ourselves. And they did.
And it's not something that you have to have a legit version of Diablo 2. It doesn't seem like something that Blizzard would shut down, other than people playing this instead of Diablo 3 is not good for Blizzard, money-wise, I guess. But it's not really infringing on their IP very much, is it?
Not really, because this is the thing. You cannot play this without legitimate copies of Diablo 2 and its expansion, War of Destruction. Yes. It's not. The only thing they can theoretically get them on is that the fact that they're running effectively a modded server that they no one gave them BattleNet. They just emulate it.
Right.
They figured it out and wrote their own from code. It's the same thing where people used to play private World of Warcraft servers. They'd have their own custom servers. I knew a couple people at PopCap that played on
but
custom
they
servers.
Shut those down when they were moving toward vanilla, right?
They did when they moved to vanilla.
But until then, they didn't. Until it infringes on something they want to put out as a if they put out Diablo 2 remake or whatever and allowed certain remixes of skills or whatever, they'd probably shut this shit down.
Maybe. Yeah. They might not. It just depends on how much they worry about competition. Even with this, me finding it and those people watching it, it's still, as far as I can tell, less than 10,000 people playing it.
Right.
Total. Usually fluctuates right around 5,000 people total playing this mod. So, I don't know if they'll care, but it's fun. It reminds me of again, that Diablo 2 is my favorite Diablo and one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Agreed. Hard to leave that off your top five list.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing.
Awesome. For me, obviously, Sekiro. Fuck. Ghost of Tsushima. Not much else to add that I didn't already say. Playing a ton, not a ton. I probably in the last week played probably 4 or 5 sessions of Origami King, Paper Mario Origami King with my daughter. It is that and Ghosts are going to be game of the year, and I actually don't know which one is going to be right now. They're both great in obviously very different ways. That Mario is not swinging the katana or a samurai sword around. But man, it is, I think people have tons of praise for the game, except for the battle mechanics. And for me, the battle mechanics are fine. And it actually works because, a lot of people complain that the battles don't really give you anything. There's no, you're not leveling up. And so it's just, they end up avoiding them, which is not a complaint for me because my daughter is so on battling anyways, and she'd rather avoid them for the most part. So it's great that I have a chance to avoid those kind of encounters as opposed to something that I would have to do to level up to move on to the next world or whatever. Thinking about random encounters in various RPGs just are more annoying than anything else, and I don't really need to grind to have my numbers go up.
Yeah.
So having that gone is great, and the fucking writing, the localization is just an 11. It is amazing. The writing is great. The deeper I get into the game, the just more I love it, and I just cannot. I want to keep playing it. That's why I want to play when I'm by myself, and I can't because I have to wait. I do a little bit of cleanup. I'm in the second world basically, and we filled up a lake, and we needed to find an oarsman to row us down the river. And I was like, where the fuck is this oarsman? Kind of like classic adventure game style, where the thing you need to do is not really logically connected to how you get it to happen. So there's I'm supposed to find some guy to row me down the river. I spent probably 10 minutes doing it with my daughter, couldn't find it, and we were both like, okay, we're done for today. So I did it today. I was like, where the fuck is this oarsman? So I went all over the place, random places, couldn't find it anywhere. Any place that I thought logically he would be, he wasn't. And then I found a monkey on a can of tuna fish, and the monkey ran away. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Maybe I'll follow that monkey because maybe it's related to this somehow. So I go follow the monkey into this tall grass, and I stumble across a spike. The guy spits up the spiky ball in Mario.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's like, oh, I fell asleep. I'm looking for a party. Can you take me to the party? So I lead him to where look like there's a party. And then they're like, oh, great. We're having a canned food party, but we need the guy who has the canned opener. And I'm like, okay, I have to go back in the grass, find another guy, bring him down. He's like, all right, cool. We're all here. Let's have a canned food party. And he's like, oh, I don't have a can opener. And they're like, what the fuck? You're supposed to bring a can opener. And it's a whole big thing. He's like, I just open up my teeth. And then Mario's like, wait a second. Can you open my can of tuna? I'm like, okay, great. I have a can of tuna that's open. Why? Let me go find that monkey. Find the monkey, give him this can of open tuna. He eats it, and then the monkey unfolds into a toad that is an oarsman. And it's like, what the fuck? How would I ever have known that the oarsman that I was looking for was disguised as a monkey who wanted to eat some tuna? It's that sounds crazy, and it is.
Yes.
But
you did.
Yeah, figured it out, and it would have been funny to figure out with my daughter, but whatever. I'm ready. So when we sit down tomorrow, she'll be like, okay, where's that oarsman? I'm like, he's right here. I've already got him. We're ready to go down the river, and she'll be stoked. So played that a little bit today, and then I played Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I'm realizing that Paper Mario was done by Intelligent Systems, and so was Fire Emblem. So I was basically playing Intelligent Systems games today, and they're both outstanding. Man, Fire Emblem's good.
Yes, it is.
Just a lot of. I'm at the part where I just found the Sword of the Creator.
Yep.
And then doing a bunch of battles, realizing that I spent a ton of time not battling in this game. I just always explored the monastery every single time, and now I'm realizing that was dumb. So I'm just doing a bunch of battles now and leveling up. And just remembering how much I love Fire Emblem because of the battles and the strategy mechanics. It's so good. So enjoying that. Played that for about 2 or 3 hours today. And then you mentioned you're watching Summer Games Done Quick. So I turned it on my phone. And then I just happened to tune in when they were streaming Shovel Knight King of Cards. And I was like, oh, right, I haven't played that. So then I loaded up Shovel Knight King of Cards on my Switch and started playing it. And it's so cool because the movement mechanics are just so different. You basically shoulder dash as you move. And when you hit someone with your shoulder, you kind of do a top spin. And then when you top spin, you do the DuckTales cane bop. Basically, okay, and that's how you move through the world. And if you saw the speed run of that, I don't know if you did or didn't.
I saw part of it.
Well, that's how he was just moving through the world, flying through. So it's really good, really fun. It's like an 8-hour game, so it's their biggest. I think the biggest one, even bigger than Shovel Knight. And it's just sublime. The only thing is that obviously I know that this is the Kickstarter reward, and they're just probably ready to move on to a new game. But the love and care they put into the level design and the new mechanics is great. It sounds like the same song from the previous games, just over and over and over again. Yeah, I don't know if they made any new music for this, which is fine, whatever. So played that, and then that's I think for the most part, what I've been playing other than Fall Guys, I got second place in one round, and I was so stoked that I got second, and so pissed that I didn't get first. But it's 50% luck, 50% skill, so whatever.
What was actually? I would say it's like 60% luck, 40% skill. I don't think it's a 50-50 at all.
Yeah, that tracks.
It's not too much randomness, but there's a lot of randomness, which is fine. That's how it's supposed to be.
So I was looking at my wife is like, "Hey, are you playing that right now? You want to play?"
Nice.
Which never happens. Yeah.
I was looking tomorrow at GDQ at right around noon is Witcher 3.
Oh my God! What?
Witcher 3, any percent old patch, 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Oh my God! How?
I'm like, I'm sure there's crazy glitches, but I'm also still like, what? Yeah, dang. I'll probably have to tune in for that one just to see what's going on and how they're breaking the game to finish that monstrosity in just over 2 hours.
Right. Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, I did. Yeah. I checked out. When I did my donation, you can apply it towards some incentive, and I applied it toward the incentive about Hollow Knight. So there's a Hollow Knight run.
Nice. I did see that. Yeah.
I think it's an any. I think it's an any percent. So I'm gonna tune into that one as well.
Any percent, no glitches race.
Wow, that's cool. It's like 4 on the screen at the same time, whatever.
Yeah, and they say it's only going to take 41 minutes tops.
Jesus Christ. That's
and no insane. Major glitches. I'm like, that's
so
crazy.
Minor glitches?
Yeah, I'm like, I guess they'll talk about that while they're doing it. What is an okay minor glitch? I'm sure you could look what this run is up online. All these rules usually exist online to be like, this is what that means. But
right.
And then following that is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. As always, it's GDQ. There's cool things. I'm gonna get a T-shirt, I'm sure.
I already got two. I got the Koholint telephone booth one.
Nice.
For Link's Awakening, and then I got just the one with all the pictures of the games that are being run. Yeah. My daughter loves looking at those shirts. So.
Oh, yeah. Tuesday's a big Castlevania block.
Oh, nice.
Castlevania 2, Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. So yeah, there's like a 2-hour block of Castlevania stuff and inspired stuff. God. Yep. I'll probably just have this on in the background this entire week while I'm working.
Yeah. Good stuff overall.
Yeah.
Next week we'll talk about our favorite runs.
Yeah.
And any crazy news we'll hear this week, because I'm sure we're going to hear something. We've got to. Yeah.
No, we don't have to.
God, we have to.
They're just going to sit there and just let it simmer longer and longer.
Oh, man. Yeah. Crazy times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was episode 255 of Prof and Dev Play Games. He's at Summerspeak. I am at Prof Plays Games. Thanks for listening. Tell a friend or 5, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Later, everyone.